Chapter 19 Locomotion and Movement. 1. Streaming of protoplasm in unicellular organism like dash is a simple form of movement. Amoeba, amoeba, amoeba. 2. All movements are locomotion. False, all locomotion are movement. False, all locomotion are movement. False, all locomotion are movement. 3. In dash cilia helps in the movement of food through cytopharynx. Paramecium, paramecium, paramecium. 4. In paramecium, cilia doesn't help in locomotion. False, it helps in locomotion. False, it helps in locomotion. False, it helps in locomotion. 5. Hydra uses tentacles for to capture prey and also locomotion, to capture prey and also locomotion, to capture prey and also locomotion. 6. The three types of movement in cells of human body are amoeboid, ciliary and muscular. Amoeboid, ciliary and muscular. Amoeboid, ciliary and muscular. 7. Amoeboid movement is exhibited by macrophages and leukocytes. Macrophages and leukocytes. Macrophages and leukocytes. 8. Microtubules are involved in amoeboid movement. False, microfilaments are involved. False, microfilaments are involved. False, microfilaments are involved. 9. Ciliary movement occurs in most of our internal alveolar organs. False, internal tubular organs. False, internal tubular organs. False, internal tubular organs. 10. Example of ciliary movement in the body. In trachea for removing dust and in passage of ova through the female reproductive tract. In trachea for removing dust and in passage of ova through the female reproductive tract. In trachea for removing dust and in passage of ova through the female reproductive tract. 11. Muscles are endo, meso, ectodermal in origin. Mesodermal, mesodermal, mesodermal. 12. Dash % of body weight is contributed by muscles. 40 to 50, 40 to 50, 40 to 50. 13. 4. Special properties of muscles are excitability, contractility, extensibility and elasticity, excitability, contractility, extensibility and elasticity, excitability, contractility, extensibility and elasticity. 14. Skeletal muscles. Other two names are striated and voluntary muscle, striated and voluntary muscle, striated and voluntary muscle. 15. Visceral muscles. Other three names are smooth, non-striated and involuntary muscle. Smooth, non-striated and involuntary muscle. Smooth, non-striated and involuntary muscle. 16. Cardiac muscle cells are arranged in a branching pattern to form cardiac muscle. T. 17. Cardiac muscles are striated, non-striated. Striated, striated, striated. 18. Nervous system can control the activities of cardiac muscles indirectly. T. 19. A diagrammatic cross-sectional view of a muscle is shown in Digak. I. Label A, E, C and D. Digak. I. A. Fascicle, muscle bundle. B. Muscle fiber, muscle cell. C. Sarcolemma. D. Blood capillary. Digak. I. A. Fascicle, muscle bundle. B. Muscle fiber, muscle cell. C. Sarcolemma. D. Blood capillary. Digak. I. A. Fascicle, muscle bundle. B. Muscle fiber, muscle cell. C. Sarcolemma. D. Blood capillary. 20. Each skeletal muscle in our body is made of nerve dash or dash. Muscle bundles of fascicles. Muscle bundles of fascicles. Muscle bundles of fascicles. 21. Fascicles are held together by dash called dash. Common collagenous connective tissue layer called fascia. Common collagenous connective tissue layer called fascia. Common collagenous connective tissue layer called fascia. 22. Each fascicle contains a nerve dash, muscle fiber, muscle fiber, muscle fiber. 23. Each muscle fiber is lined by plasma membrane called dash enclosing the dash. Sarcolemma, sarcoplasm. Sarcolemma, sarcoplasm. Sarcolemma, sarcoplasm. 24. Sarcoplasma contains many nuclei. T. 25. The sarcoplasmic reticulum is a storehouse of Ca. 26. Muscle fiber has large nerve dash also called myofilaments or myofibrils. Myofilaments or myofibrils. Myofilaments or myofibrils. 27. Identify the structure shown in Diggle 2. Label A, B, C, D and A. Digak. 2. A. Z line. B. A band. C. I band. D. Edge zone. A. Sarcomere. Digak. 2. A. Z line. B. A band. C. I band. D. Edge zone. A. Sarcomere. Digak. 2. A. Z line. B. A band. C. I band. D. Edge zone. A. Sarcomere. 28. The dark band contains only myosin. False. False, false, false. 29. Light band contains only ACTM. T. 30. Light band is called dash or dash. I band, isotropic band, trick, light. I band, isotropic band, trick, light. I band, isotropic band, trick, light. 31. Dark band is called dash or dash. A band, anisotropic band, trick, dark. A band, anisotropic band, trick, dark. A band, anisotropic band, trick, dark. 32. Myosin filaments are thinner than actin filaments. False, false, false. 33. Edge zone contains actin filament. False, false, false. 34. Z-line is an elastic fiber which bisects. I band, I band, I band. 35. Thin, thick filaments are firmly attached to the Z-line. Thin, thin, thin. 36. M-line is thick, thin, elastic, fibrous and bisect. Thin fibrous, a band. Thin fibrous, a band. Thin fibrous, a band. 37. Functional unit of contraction is sarcomere, 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 sarcomere. 38. Anatomical unit of muscle is muscle fiber, check NCERT summary. Muscle fiber, check NCERT summary. Muscle fiber, check NCERT summary. 39. Identify the muscle proteins X and Y shown Digak. 3. Label A to G. Digak. 3. X. Actin filament. Y. Myosin monomer, meromyosin. A. Troponin. B. Tropomyosin. C. F. Actin. D. Actin binding sites. A. ATP binding sites. F. Head. G. Cross arm. Digak. 3. X. Actin filament. Y. Myosin monomer, meromyosin. A. Troponin. B. Tropomyosin. C. F. Actin. D. Actin binding sites. A. ATP binding sites. F. Head. G. Cross arm. Digak. 3. X. Actin filament. Y. Myosin monomer, meromyosin. A. Troponin. B. Tropomyosin. C. F. Actin. D. Actin binding sites. A. ATP binding sites. F. Head. G. Cross arm. 40. Each actin filament is made of 2 actins helically wound to each other. F. Actin. F. Actin. F. Actin. 41. Each F. actin is a polymer of monomeric G. actin. G. actin. G. actin. G. actin. 42. 1, 2, 4 filaments of protein tropomyosin run close to the F. actins throughout its length. 2. 2. 2. 43. In resting state, a subunit of troponin masks the active binding sites for myosin on the actin filaments. Troponin. 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 44. Myosin is made of monomers called meromyosin. 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 45. The two parts of meromyosin are globular head with short arm, tail. Globular head with short arm, tail. Globular head with short arm, tail. 46. HMM consists of dash and dash. Globular head and short arm. Globular head and short arm. Globular head and short arm. 47. Meromyosin tail is called LMM. T. 48. What is cross arm? The head and short arm are together known as cross arm. The head and short arm are together known as cross arm. The head and short arm are together known as cross arm. 49. The dash of meromyosin have an active ATPase enzyme. Globular head, globular head. Globular head, globular head. 50. Mechanism of muscle contraction in explained by dash. Sliding filament theory. Sliding filament theory. Sliding filament theory. 51. Dash and dash together constitute the motor unit. Motor neuron in the muscles fibers connected to it. Motor neuron in the muscles fibers connected to it. Motor neuron in the muscles fibers connected to it. 52. What is motor end plate? Junction between a motor neuron and the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. Junction between a motor neuron and the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. Junction between a motor neuron and the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. 53. Dash binds to subunit of troponin and thereby removes the masking of active sites for myosin. Ca2+, Ca2+, Ca2+. 54. Utilizing the energy from ATP hydrolysis, myosin head binds to the exposed active sites on actin to form dash. Cross bridge, cross bridge, cross bridge. 55. A band retain their length during muscle contraction. T. 56. Binding of ATP breaks the cross bridge. T. 57. Repeated activation of the muscles can lead to accumulation of lactic acid, lactic acid, lactic acid. 58. In muscles having reddish appearance, dash content is high. Myoglobin, myoglobin, myoglobin. 59. Mitochondria is high in red, white fibers. Red, red, red. 60. Sarcoplasmic reticulum is high in red, white fibers. White, white, white. 61. Red, white fibers are aerobic muscles. Red muscles, red muscles, red muscles. 62. White fibers depend on aerobic, anaerobic process of energy. Anaerobic, anaerobic, anaerobic. 63. Chondroitin soles are present in cartilage, cartilage, cartilage. 64. No of bones in human body is 206, 206, 206. 65. Pelvic girdle comes under axial skeleton. False, false, false. 66. No of bones in axial skeleton are 80, 80 to 80, 80. 67. I plus comprises of skull, vertebral column, ribs, sternum. Skull, vertebral column, ribs, sternum. Skull, vertebral column, ribs, sternum. 68. A diagrammatic view of human skull is shown in Digak. 4. Identify the bones A to M. Digak. 4. A. Frontal bone. B. Sphenoid bone. C. Ethmoid bone. D. Lacrimal bone. E. Nasal bone. F. Zygomatic bone. G. Maxilla. H. Mandible. I. Hyoid bone. J. Occipital condyle. K. Occipital bone. L. Temporal bone. M. Parietal bone. Digak. 4. A. Frontal bone. B. Sphenoid bone. C. Ethmoid bone. D. Lacrimal bone. E. Nasal bone. F. Zygomatic bone. G. Maxilla. H. Mandible. I. Hyoid bone. J. Occipital condyle. K. Occipital bone. L. Temporal bone. M. Parietal bone. Digak. 4. A. Frontal bone. B. Sphenoid bone. C. Ethmoid bone. D. Lacrimal bone. E. Nasal bone. F. Zygomatic bone. G. Maxilla. H. Mandible. I. Hyoid bone. J. Occipital condyle. K. Occipital bone. L. Temporal bone. M. Parietal bone. 69. Skull consists of a total of dash no of bones. 29, 29, 29. 70. No of cranial and facial bones respectively are cranial 8, facial bones 14. Cranial 8, facial bones 14. Cranial 8, facial bones 14. 71. A single dash-shaped bone called dash is present at the base of the buccal cavity and it is also included in the skull. U. Hyoid. U. Hyoid. U. Hyoid. 72. Name all the cranial bones. Parietal 2, temporal 2, frontal 1, occipital 1, ethmoid 1, sphenoid 1. Parietal 2, temporal 2, frontal 1, occipital 1, ethmoid 1, sphenoid 1. Parietal 2, temporal 2, frontal 1, occipital 1, ethmoid 1, sphenoid 1. 73. Name all the facial bones. Inferior turbinate 2, lacrimal bones 2, mandible 1, maxilla 2, nasal bones 2, palatine bones 2, warmer 1, zygomatic bones 2. Inferior turbinate 2, lacrimal bones 2, mandible 1, maxilla 2, nasal bones 2, palatine bones 2, warmer 1, zygomatic bones 2. Inferior turbinate 2, lacrimal bones 2, mandible 1, maxilla 2, nasal bones 2, palatine bones 2, warmer 1, zygomatic bones 2. 74. The skull region articulates with vertebral column by dash. 2 occipital condyle, 2 occipital condyle, 2 occipital condyle. 75. A right lateral view of vertebral column is shown in Digak. 5. Label A to F. Digak. 5. A. Cervical vertebra. B. Thoracic vertebra. C. Lumbar vertebra. D. Intervertebral disc. A. Sacrum. F. Coccyx. Digak. 5. A. Cervical vertebra. B. Thoracic vertebra. C. Lumbar vertebra. D. Intervertebral disc. A. Sacrum. F. Coccyx. Digak. 5. A. Cervical vertebra. B. Thoracic vertebra. C. Lumbar vertebra. D. Intervertebral disc. A. Sacrum. F. Coccyx. 76. No of vertebrae in humans is 26, 26, 26. 77. Each vertebra has dash through which spinal cord passes. Neural canal, neural canal, neural canal, neural canal. 78. First vertebrae is called atlas, atlas, atlas. 79. Second vertebrae is called axis, axis, axis. 80. Tell the divisions in the vertebral column and the no of bones in them. Cervical, 7, thoracic, 12, lumbar, 5, sacral, 1, coccyx, 1. Cervical, 7, thoracic, 12, lumbar, 5, sacral, 1, coccyx, 1. cervical, 7, thoracic, 12, lumbar, 5, sacral, 1, coccyx, 1. 81. No of cervical vertebrae is 7 in all mammals. False. Two-toed sloth, bradypus, have 9 cervical vertebrae. False. Two-toed sloth, bradypus, have 9 cervical vertebrae. False. Two-toed sloth, bradypus, have 9 cervical vertebrae. 82. Dash is a flat bone on the ventral, dorsal midline of thorax. Sternum, ventral. Sternum, ventral. Sternum, ventral. 83. Each vertebrate has dash through which the spinal cord passes. Neural canal. Neural canal. Neural canal. 84. The atlas and occipital condyle form a dash joint which help dash movement. Condyloid joint, nodding. Condyloid joint, nodding. Condyloid joint, nodding. 85. The atlas and axis form a dash joint which help dash movement. Pivot joint, rotatory. Pivot joint, rotatory. Pivot joint, rotatory. 86. No bone is axis. 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 87. Yes bone is. Atlas. 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 88. A figure of rib cage is shown in Digak. 6. Identify the types of ribs X, Y and Z. Label A, B and C. Digak. 6. X, true ribs, Y, false ribs, Z, floating ribs, A, sternum, B, ribs, C, vertebral column. Digak. 6. X, true ribs, Y, false ribs, Z, floating ribs, A, sternum, B, ribs, C, vertebral column. Digak. 6. X, true ribs, Y, false ribs, Z, floating ribs, A, sternum, B, ribs, C, vertebral column. 89. Total no of ribs humans is 24, 24, 24, 90. Ribs have two articular surfaces on their ventral, dorsal end, hence are called dorsal, bicephalic, dorsal, bicephalic, dorsal, bicephalic. 91. First dash pair of ribs are true ribs. 7, 7, 7. 92. True ribs are connected to sternum with the help of dash. Hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. 93. What pair of ribs are vertebrochondral ribs? 8th, 9th, 10th. 8th, 9th, 10th. 8th, 9th, 10th. 94. False ribs are also called vertebrochondral. 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 95. False ribs are joined to the dash th rib with the help of 7th, hyaline cartilage. 7th, hyaline cartilage. 7th, hyaline cartilage. 96. What pairs of floating ribs? 11th and 12th. 11th and 12th. 11th and 12th. 97. Rib cage is formed by thoracic vertebrae, ribs, sternum. Thoracic vertebrae, ribs, sternum. Thoracic vertebrae, ribs, sternum. 98. A frontal view of right pectoral girdle and upper arm is shown in Digak. 7. Label A to H. Digak. 7. A. Clavicle. B. Scapula. C. Humerus. D. Radius. E. Ulna. F. Carpals. G. Metacarpals. H. Phalanges. Digak. 7. A. Clavicle. B. Scapula. C. Humerus. D. Radius. E. Ulna. F. Carpals. G. Metacarpals. H. Phalanges. Digak. 7. A. Clavicle. B. Scapula. C. Humerus. D. Radius. E. Ulna. F. Carpals. G. Metacarpals. H. Phalanges. 99. A frontal view of right pelvic girdle and lower limb bones is shown in Digak. 8. Label A to L. Digak. 8. A. Liam. B. Pubis. C. Ischium. D. Coxal bone. A. Sacrum. F. Femur. G. Patella. H. Tibia. I. Fibula. J. Tarsals. K. Metatarsals. L. Phalanges. Digak. 8. A. Liam. B. Pubis. C. Ischium. D. Coxal bone. A. Sacrum. F. Femur. G. Patella. H. Tibia. I. Fibula. J. Tarsals. K. Metatarsals. L. Phalanges. Digak. 8. A. Liam. B. Pubis. C. Ischium. D. Coxal bone. A. Sacrum. F. Femur. G. Patella. H. Tibia. I. Fibula. J. Tarsals. K. Metatarsals. L. Phalanges. 100. Each limb has dash no of bones. 30. 30. 30. I01. No. Of carpals are 8. 8. 8. 102. No of tarsals are 7. 7. 7. 103. No of phalanges in human body. 28 in hands plus 28 in legs equals 56. 28 in hands plus 28 in legs equals 56. 28 in hands plus 28 in legs equals 56. 104. A underscore shaped bone called underscore covers the knee ventrally, cup, patella, cup, patella, cup, patella. 105. The longest bone in human body is femur, femur, femur. 106. Each half of pectoral girdle consists of dash and dash. Scapula and clavicle, scapula and clavicle, scapula and clavicle. 107. Scapula is situated between dash and dash. Second seventh, second seventh, second seventh. 108. Scapula is triangular in shape. Dash, T, T, T. 109. Scapula has a slightly elevated ridge called spine, spine, spine. 110. Spine project is a flat expanded process called acromion, acromion, acromion. 111. Glenoid cavity is present above acromion. Dash, false, present below acromion. False, present below acromion. False, present below acromion. 112. Clavicle articulate with dash and dash. Sternum and acromion, sternum and acromion, sternum and acromion. 113. Glenoid cavity articulate with dash to form shoulder joint, head of the humerus, head of the humerus, head of the humerus. 114. Dash is called collar bone. Clavicle, clavicle, clavicle. 115. Each coxal bone is formed by fusion of liam, ischium, pubis, liam, ischium, pubis, liam, ischium, pubis. 116. At the point of fusion, a cavity is formed called acetabulum, acetabulum, acetabulum. 117. Pubic symphysis contains hyaline, fibrous cartilage, fibrous cartilage, fibrous cartilage, fibrous cartilage. 118. Joints can be present between bone and cartilage. T, T, T. 119. Joints act as a fulcrum. T, 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 T. 120. The three types of joints are fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial. Fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial. Fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial. 121. Fibrous joints are present in cranium, cranium, cranium. 122. In it, the bones are connected with the help of dash in the form of dash. Dense fibrous connective tissue, sutures. Dense fibrous connective tissue, sutures. Dense fibrous connective tissue, sutures. 123. X of cartilaginous joint between the adjacent vertebrae, sternum ribs and pubic symphysis, joint between the adjacent vertebrae, sternum ribs and pubic symphysis, joint between the adjacent vertebrae, sternum ribs and pubic symphysis. 124. Synovial joint is characterized by the presence of fluid-filled synovial cavity, fluid-filled synovial cavity, fluid-filled synovial cavity. 125. Ball and socket joint XBT, humerus and pectoral girdle, BT, humerus and pectoral girdle, BT, humerus and pectoral girdle. 126. Hinge joint X knee joint, knee joint, knee joint. 127. Pivot joint XBT, atlas and axis, BT, atlas and axis, BT, atlas and axis. 128. Gliding joint X, joint between carpals, joint between carpals, joint between carpals, joint between carpals. 129. Saddle joint X, between carpals and metacarpals of thumb, between carpals and metacarpals of thumb, between carpals and metacarpals of thumb. 130. Joints between phalanges is a type of dash joint. Hinge, hinge, hinge. 131. Autoimmune disorder affecting dash is myasthenia gravis. Neuromuscular junction, neuromuscular junction, neuromuscular junction. 132. Myasthenia gravis leads to fatigue, weakening and paralysis of skeletal muscle, fatigue, weakening and paralysis of skeletal muscle, fatigue, weakening and paralysis of skeletal muscle. 133. Define muscular dystrophy, progressive degeneration of skeletal muscle, progressive degeneration of skeletal muscle, progressive degeneration of skeletal muscle. 134. Muscular dystrophy occurs mostly due to genetic disorder, genetic disorder, genetic disorder. 135. Rapid spasm in muscle occurs due to high Ca2+ in the body fluids. False, false, false. 136. What is tetany? Rapid spasm in muscle occurs due to low Ca2+ in the body fluids. Rapid spasm in muscle occurs due to low Ca2+ in the body fluids. Rapid spasm in muscle occurs due to low Ca2+ in the body fluids. 137. What is arthritis? Inflammation of joints, inflammation of joints. Inflammation of joints, inflammation of joints. 138. What is the common cause of osteoporosis? Decreased level of estrogen. Decreased level of estrogen. Decreased level of estrogen. 139. What is osteoporosis? Age-related disorder characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chances of fractures. Age-related disorder characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chances of fractures. Age-related disorder characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chances of fractures. 140. What is gout? Inflammation of joint due to deposition of uric acid crystals. Inflammation of joint due to deposition of uric acid crystals. Inflammation of joint due to deposition of uric acid crystals.